got a diagnosis of cancer myself. That was completely shocking. There's a fuel for each and every disease, and food nutrition is one of the fuels. 90% of the cancers are all lifestyle, and only 10% or 7 to 8% is genetic. And if you are someone who's going through cancer, there is always hope. You just need the right path and do take that responsibility of finding things for yourself, what is good. Your body's healing mechanism is so powerful than medication. So always believe in yourself and in your body.
You could have given up, but you didn't. You could have stopped believing, but you didn't. You could have kept living their expectations, but you decided to make this life your own. And in turn, you're here. Hello everyone, today we're meeting Shruti Sethi. She is a cancer recovery coach and energy psychologist, author of Power Within book. And thank you, Sethi, for having us today.
Thank you, Anna, for having me as well. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So let's start conversation for dive in with your story of becoming the person you are today. What led you to discover your true passion in life? How did it start for you?
Yeah, so Anna, actually, I'm a person who have always pursued my passion. I was very inclined towards arts and creativity, and I became a fashion designer.
Mm.
I had my own store working with various fashion designers. Then I had my own label. I was working, and it was very nice because I was into bridal fashion, helping the brides decide their trousseaux and the wedding dress and outfits was fun. In 2016, I got a diagnosis of cancer myself. That was completely shocking, and I couldn't understand. I was 34 years, and I really didn't understand how can I get cancer, providing I don't have a family history of cancer.
Mhm.
I was leading so-called a healthy lifestyle according to my standards. So it was very difficult for me to accept this situation. And when you go to the doctors, they always tell you, there could be this reason, XYZ reason. The cancer I got diagnosed with lymphatic cancer, is an immune system cancer. And it says it when I researched, it says mostly because of your lifestyle.
Mm.
My lifestyle, I thought, going to the gym, looking good, and just taking care of your physical body was enough. I didn't have any bad habits like smoking or drinking, and being a vegetarian since birth, I thought I'm very healthy.
Yeah.
But then I didn't look inside myself as to how happy I was or what is my internal world like. When we go to the doctors, we have any symptoms, all they give you is a pill and that's it. But and cancer actually takes decades to form, like 10, 20 years to even
Mm.
find out the diagnosis. So I was wondering what is happening and why didn't my body fight cancer? Because we all fight cancer cells every day of our lives. And then looking behind, backtrace my steps, I was like, oh my God, like my body was always giving signs and symptoms. I had a lot of acidic problems, gut issues, asthma. I had severe acne, like my whole face was red.
Mm.
I also was, anxious and not internally happy, though I had everything. I had many other issues like, I was not sleeping properly. I was not getting up on time. I was never got up early in the morning. My body was lethargic, like lazy.
Mhm.
So all these signs my body was giving, and before 2 years when I got my diagnosis, I was also going through a very rough patch in my relationship. I was married, I was going through divorce, and it was something, not an easy stage of life. You need to, you're figuring out, and I had a lot of these emotions and anger and frustration inside me, which I was not disclosing, or I was not even sharing with people. So then I realized that cancer is actually such an effect of not only your physical body, but your mental, emotional, spiritual body. And that was very like revelation for me. Like, wow, this, whole health is not compartmentalized. It's a whole body approach.
Mm.
I started to apply those theories of holistic health in my life, various working with various coaches, various integrative practitioners, where I work on my mental capability, physical body, and then I saw such amazing results when I was going through chemotherapy. The cancer subsided in just 4 chemos, and I refused radiation. I didn't want to go back to conventional therapy. I decided to take responsibility of my own healing journey. And I took a break for 1 year, just worked on myself, learned so many other aspects of healing. And since then, I'm living a cancer free life. Uh, and that was, when you are going through something extreme, and you discover so many aspects, and it's such an eye opener. And I must have sowed some seed, and I told God or energy or whatever it is, that, oh my God, if I'm going to get better, I'm going to spread this awareness to the world.
Yeah.
And things just started coming my way. I it started, when I started talking about my journey, people said, please give us this advice. And cancer patients started coming to me. And I was like, oh my God, like,
Mm.
people are asking me advice. Let me just get some formal education about it. And then I started moving towards learning either yoga, or I started learning about integrative practices, nutrition, got all my certifications done. And then I've been working, I formed my own health wellness company, and been working with a lot of, like, almost 50 to 60 cancer patients till now in almost 3 years, and also other chronic issues. So in short, I felt that, what I went through, the pain and the suffering which I had gone through, it turned into my passion, and I had to pursue it. When you want some, when you have a purpose, I guess things just fall in place.
Mm.
Everything was so easy for me actually to just take a decision, make a decision. Okay, I want to pursue it, and gates just open, windows open, gates open, houses open, and people started giving me that chance. And I'm very grateful to all those people who gave me this beautiful chance. I started working as a corporate health coach, and I worked almost with 100 to 100 people before I launched my company, and it gave me the confidence. So I'm very, very grateful to everyone who thought that I can make a difference in their lives. So this is, in nutshell, my story.
Wow, yeah, so many lessons that you learned for yourself, and as a result, you kind of transformed and saw the life on the other side of the pain and suffering. And you recognized that the physical symptoms that you had in life that manifested as cancer, as bad as it might sound, but it's just the result of something that is not really physical. You mentioned emotional, spiritual, mental body, all of that is really invisible to our eye, but this is the actual cause of the manifestation that we see in the physical reality, right? And a lot of times traditional medicine, as I'm also working as a pharmacist, I know that firsthand. I see a lot of people with chronic conditions and even cancer patient, right? So they take in all of those medications on a daily basis. And what it does is just kind of like addressing the symptom, but it's not addressing the cause of the issue that we're dealing with. And
Absolutely.
people don't recognize, they really kind of like, in this loop, in this pattern, I would say. They just like believe what doctors say to them, and they just follow the instructions, but they don't see the end goal. What exactly are they doing? Why are they
Yeah.
taking those medications? And sometimes I just ask them, or do you know why are you taking this? And a lot of times they don't. They just do because they've been told to.
Yeah.
And it's coming back to talking about the cause of the issue, right? So you recognize that and you dealt with this for a while, but you saw the result and now you're cancer free, which is, I feel, it's just so relieved that you experience, because sometimes it could be a life sentence, when you
Yeah.
hear some kind of diagnosis like that, people can just, stop doing anything, and they can just internally kind of like accept that as their end of life. But for you, it was just motivation to fight for your life. So you saw it is an opportunity not only to heal yourself, but also spread the awareness, to tell the story, to tell, what are the tools and practices available for people who are dealing with the same issue and struggles that you dealt with. And what I want to really touch upon is the book that I mentioned, The Power or The Healing Power Within, that you published. And I know you are a holistic nutritionist, and you are really educating people on what kind of meals they're supposed to integrate in their lifestyle in order to facilitate the healing process. If you can just like let us know what are the main type of food that we're supposed to look into, and that will bring us this healing power or facilitate, I would say, because nutrition or food that we eat is very important. It's the medicine
It is.
in itself that we really put in our bodies. It's
Yeah.
either the medicine or the poison. So,
Yeah.
and for us to recognize which one is which, we just want you as an expert, let us know what are the main type of food we're supposed to look into.
Yeah. 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 You've described it so beautifully. So, cancer, obviously, there's a fuel for each and every disease, and food nutrition is one of the fuels. You always have a choice either to give your body that fuel, which can compromise either uh, just make that environment for cancer cells to thrive, or to kill them. As cancer cells, we have an immune system, and that immune system, if it's well equipped, it can kill the cancer cells effectively. Sometimes there might be some genetic mutations, but we know that 90% of the cancers are all lifestyle, and only 10% or 7 to 8% is genetic. And there is something called epigenetics, where the trigger is the lifestyle. We still have the genes, and there has been so many experiment done on twins which having the same gene mutation. One got cancer, one didn't, and the trigger was the food, nutrition, the lifestyle, stress, etc. So there have been various studies about it. So nutrition is the key. When I asked doctor what can I eat, I got this advice that eat whatever you want. When I was going to cancer, it
Mm,
didn't seem right to me. Uh, there must be something which I should be avoiding. And unfortunately, we must realize that the doctors, and that being a pharmacist, how much nutrition, or how much hours of nutrition therapy or there is in their curriculum. When I asked my doctor,
yeah.
they said, we don't even know and we don't understand nutrition so well. So, yes, the foods which you should incorporate should be uh, immuno, it should you support your immune system, first of all. And those are anti inflammatory foods, because understand one thing, that cancer loves inflammation. Cancer loves fermentation
Mm,
of glucose, and that's the fuel for cancer cells. It also likes anaerobic environment, which is less oxygen environment. It thrives on that. So what are the foods which we should have? We should have good amount of fiber, green vegetables, whole foods, not processed foods, having good amount of nuts, seeds, rainbow colored vegetables, because it contains all kind of phytonutrients. And I believe that me being from a vegetarian, then I became a whole food plant based eater. That means completely devoid of any sugars and any processed foods and stuff. So, and there have been studies that, 7-day Adventists or people who have been living in blue zones, that the more they eat 78, 80, 90% of the whole food diet, 10% would be their meat, but that would also be very limited. So I completely advocate, and I've been working and I have so many case studies with cancer patients that a whole food plant based diet works efficiently and effectively on cancer, because understanding that if you have cancer or if you have any sort of genes of cancer,
Mhm.
you must protect yourself with all these things, nutrition being one. Obviously there are other stress and other kind of things, but nutrition, you always have a choice. And have good amount of adaptogens like mushrooms, beans, lentils, herbs like ashwagandha is a good way of, curcumin is a good anti-inflammatory food, which we are not having too much. Mostly our diet comprises more of starchy foods and more of foods which are processed, and we don't even use good quality oils these days. It's all not even coming from the right sources. So really, most of the people are eating out these days, right? Like we don't know what kind
Yeah.
of oils they're using, what quality of herbs. There is so much additives, there's so much of chemicals. Well, we don't know what they use, in the restaurants and all, whether it's the most healthiest place or not. But we have stopped making this relationship between the food and us. And in Ayurveda, in our culture, they say you become what you eat. I would say you become what you eat, ingest, digest, detox, all these things together make up a personality. And most of the people, 90% of the Americans have digestion issues, and that starts with how much fiber you are eating, what are your daily nutrition is. Most of them are just eating high carb, processed, saturated foods, which in turn is a playing ground for cancer. So, the number one thing which everyone should do is turning at least to turn down the processed foods, include nuts, seeds, whole foods as much as possible, at least 90% of it in your daily diet, and include antioxidants, berries, and all these kind of things which protect you, which improves the oxygenation. Not only the oxygenation, it will also improve, the more you age, oxidative stress happens. So you must think about mindfully eating every day, because in that way you are giving your body the fuel, the nutrients, and also your mind gets affected. So yeah, nutrition is a key element in prevention of cancer, not only prevention, but people who are going through for reversals, plus people in the maintenance therapies. A lot of people are in the maintenance therapy, and people are getting relapse as well. The relapse rates is also
Mm.
in most of the cancer. So, in order to prevent that, we must look into what we are eating for sure.
Definitely, and it's such an important aspect that we overlook, and we don't do the mindful eating like you just mentioned. We are always on the go, working, and just hardly make time to have this lunch and just put in everything
Yeah.
accessible at the moment in our body, and without realizing it, without giving it much thought. and not thinking about the nutritional, value of it. So it has to be nutritional dense food, not deficient, right? And calories are not the same. Sometimes people looking at calories, to kind of like think about what they're gonna eat and how many calories a day are they giving themselves, but it could come from different sources, and
Absolutely.
it's not all about calories. It's about nutritional dense and good source, like you said, whole food, um as opposed to processed food. And I think if we could start really also making our own meals at home, it would be a
Mm,
better way for us to supplement ourselves, to support ourselves, and bring our own food to workplaces, let's say, right? Rather
so
than
true.
getting something from places that we don't know how it's been cooked. Um,
Exactly.
right. And how about the water, the hydration? I think it's also important for our body to stay hydrated, because we
Yeah.
always like drinking tea, coffee, dehydrate our bodies. And people
Yeah.
think, it's all about
That's water.
liquids. Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah. True. I know most of the people I work with, like over here, the first drink they drink, it's like they have to have that cup of coffee when
Yeah.
they wake up. And it is the most dehydrating substance you can put. Your body needs first thing in the morning is great hydration, as you rightly pointed out. And I used to drink, my first liquid used to be a cup of tea, and that with two with
Mm,
cow's milk and stuff. I thought, oh wow, I'm detoxing myself. But it's not
mm,
really true. It has so many things. Like caffeine is causes acidity in your stomach. It plays with your pitta. It plays with your in the fire of your digestive system. And the first food, it should be hydrating. Either it can be a fruit, it can be just a simple glass of lemon water or warm water with herbs. That is something which we should switch. And you will obviously, I mean, find a huge difference when you switch from a coffee to a warm water or a herbal water. In within few days start to feel lighter. And you if you have indigestion or if you have things like acidity, you definitely would make it will make a huge difference in your digestive system as well. So yes, as we said, mind we don't we are so habitual of things. We think that, oh, coffee will give me, of course it's a stimulator, it gives some it makes you wake up in the morning. But that's
mm-hmm,
not the only thing. Think about the other side effects it is causing you, the neurons in your brains and the stomach lining. If you drink one cup of coffee, you need to hydrate yourself with two or three glasses of water. So the cells get dehydrated, and it is the cellular structure which gets disturbed, and you must look into that. uh, mind be mindful of consuming more healthier options. It's all a habit. I feel a lot of people have this relationship between that coffee and junk food, and sugar will give them some sort of happy high. Obviously the serotonin levels get increased, but they increase so much and they all of a sudden come down, which
mm,
again is an issue for us. So why not start with something which is which stays throughout? Like if you drink water, copper water or anything, it just builds up slowly, slowly, slowly. The hydration will make some space in your in your body. The hot water will make some space in your body. Then you can neutralize it with fruits or something, which is another thing. Coffee, if people are addicted, I always tell, have eat something before you drink a coffee, maybe around 12ish, 11, 12 o'clock. But the first thing you should do is obviously hydration. And most of the people are facing, 80% of the Americans, has been a study, have dehydration. So
yeah.
that is one of the causes why a lot of inflammation happens. That is the cause why a lot of diseases, that's like your, again, one of the root causes. of destructing our mitochondria and our cells.
Right. So we first have to take that responsibility of creating the best environment for our bodies to really like release that inflammation that's going on as as a result of a past choices in our life. And it's possible to really change at any point of time. So if you only decide today that you have to kind of like integrate new choices in your lifestyle and really start doing that, not just saying you will do, but start with making those changes, and it will become a habit over time. But you have to give it enough time to really to be integrated in your life. And also, I want to really like touch upon the other aspect. You are an energy psychologist, and I want your feedback on how we can really take care of our energy in terms of releasing that stress, because the inflammation not only comes from the food that we eat, but also the constant stress that we put in ourselves through. And
Yeah.
it's all like self-inflicted. It's within our mind and the energy that we're operating from. How can we come to this place of releasing all of that and really supporting ourselves in that journey?
Yes, so important. Oh my God. Like, even if you're eating the most healthiest food, but you're eating in that state of mind, which is like not rested and not, in sync, it will not have so much of it will not give you so much of benefits. So the energy, coming from a place of flight and fight mode to a rest and digest and heal mode is extremely important. So I would
Yeah.
say recalibrate every time. There will be stresses, of course, an inevitable part of our lives these days. We all have stress, work stress, home stress, managing so many things. But that can remain, and you can be aware of it. Like, say for example, you're going to work and you have traffic and you're driving, you're frustrated, just being aware that, okay, it's fine. Like, I'll take 1 hour of time. I know it'll take 1 hour, 45 minutes. I cannot do anything. It's not in my control. We like, first of all, as humans, we like this controlling feeling. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I will,
Mm.
it's not, it's going out of my hand and I will not be able to reach on time. I'll not be able to do this. Relax. It's all fine. Nothing is going to, it's not like anybody's dying, right? So we have to
Mm-hmm.
recalibrate, and it all comes with awareness. The first thing which in the morning which you do is you wake up, and most of the people just see their cell phones
Mm-hmm.
without even realizing how they want to spend their day. How are they feeling, when they wake up in the morning? We've stopped in tuning ourselves. There is a
Yeah.
radio frequency, I would say, with which all of us have, and we need to get inside. First thing, 10 minutes to spend with yourself, not even with your spouse or kids. Just give yourself that 10 minutes, recalibrate, understand how are you feeling, what is that you want to achieve, because when you operate from from a space of awareness, even if you are negative, even if you're feeling low energy, you will have that awareness, and then there are different tools to bring you from a negative state of mind to a positive state of mind. You can always do affirmations, you can always tapping is a great, I feel that acupressure points help you to all of a sudden release those toxic emotions inside you. Breathing, pranayam, doing
Mm-hmm.
pranayamas are, I think, they are life saving. It helped me so much when I started doing yoga during my journey. Yoga means to unite, it means to join. You People say yoga, but the real Sanskrit word is yoga. It's a union of your
Mm-hmm.
soul, mind, and body. Just doing
Mm-hmm.
simple anulom vilom, inhaling through the left, exhaling through the right nostril, and vice versa, brings your mind into a stable state, oxygenate you well, and it connects your breath with with your, with your nabi, with the belly button. And that's like your vagus nerve gets activated, and then you can do any, even if you're stressed or you have like extremely busy day, you could ride through it easily. What the thing is, we don't want to we feel that, oh gosh, my life is just like that, I need to be in this stress situation, and only when I'm stressed you feel comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Some people's comfort zone is that stress, they don't want to come out of it, and they are operating in this flight and fight mode, not understanding that it again creates inflammation, it again creates that that's like your body internal environment, which you can get any kind of disease. So when you're aware of that, you're in that state of mind all the time, and it is actually affecting you, then only you could be taking some other steps. But I feel people like to be in this victim mode, that, oh my God, look how stressed I am. It just gives them some sort of validation, I guess, that they're busy, they're stressed, and they have so much work. And that is the way to thrive in life. But sorry to tell you, it is not. You know,
No. Yeah, and I agree that we really have to first in the morning check in with ourselves, how we're feeling. And some people even start with meditation, right? So if that works for you, that's great. Even 10-15 minutes of meditation, tuning in with how you're feeling, and breathing is very important technique that we have to also learn and integrate in our lifestyle. It brings us into that union, like you mentioned, mind, body, spirit. Or when you start feeling like you pretty much in that union, and you can release that stress and that control, and that some of what you're going through, you can be in control, but not all of it, and that's okay. And you can just release that tension and not beat yourself up, or really like not uh, getting something that you expected. Let's say if it didn't go your way, um, usually, your experience is also kind of like learning lessons for you. So everything that you can look at, depending on your perspective, you can take the benefit for yourself from each one of those events that happening, if each one of those experiences. And really like readjusting and seeing for yourself what is it that it's telling you, and you don't have to feel bad about it, really.
yeah,
And like you said, if some people are taking the victim role position in their life, it's just, I feel like it's also a choice, right? So they're choosing to be in that position because it's easier for them to blame people, circumstances, events, and why are they feeling this way. But is it really how it is? And if they come to this realization and self-awareness, understanding that everything is their choice and they take that responsibility, they could start choosing differently. And that takes a decision that could be done today even. So that really is like feel like if you are ready for change, you will make a different decision. But some people just don't, they just not ready, and that's okay. Perhaps it will take them some time to come to this place,
yeah,
but usually, like if I feel like if people are taking the position of victim in some sort of way, it's serving them at the moment. But when they realize that it's not serving them anymore, that's when they release that. That's when they move on and they start taking, a, a
yeah.
different choice in their life.
And sometimes what happens is that I feel these are all again signs which the people are telling us, or which the energy, or you can say whatever, God or whatever, is giving you. Like, I was in this position for a long, long
Mm-hmm.
time. And it had to be cancer to make me realize it.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through such extremes to
Right.
realize, sometimes again, these are all these, even not only your physical body, but in your mental plane as well. These are all signs. You're getting stressed, you can't do anything about it, taking responsibility of your own self. Do not let nobody's, I mean, cancer is really not that great experience, and some people don't even change after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to go, my whenever I work with clients, you don't need to go to that path where something drastic as cancer comes into your life,
Yeah.
give you those hardcore lessons. Sometimes it's just a journey, that journey which is there, and what is each and every part telling you about it. So we need to internalize, we need to just sit with ourselves, understand what's happening, why am I facing these issues. It's your life tells you everything. Even if there are some issues with relationships, finances,
Mm-hmm.
kids, anything, it tells you everything about your internal world. It's unfortunate
Definitely.
we are not educated about it, but whatever is happening in your life is a sum total of what is inside.
Definitely. It's like a reflection. You're seeing firsthand, like a mirror of what is going on within you by the way those experiences come into your life, whatever it is, in relationship, like you said, work, career, personal. Um, or the way you feel, your emotions, everything is a sign or an indication in one sort of or another to get your attention. To get your attention. First, it starts as a whisper, right? Then it's
Yes.
louder and louder, then it screams. And some
Mhm.
people come to this point where it screams so much that they really now have no choice but to look within, like in your case, or some people have other extreme cases where they just pretty much they cannot do anything but to sit still and to look within, and that's
Yeah.
all they can do. And again, did it start like this? No, but it came to this point where you ignored all of the earlier signs and indications of what you need to look into, right? So
Yeah.
again, like that was your choice and you understand that. And again, like not saying good or bad, right or wrong, it's just the earlier you kind of recognize that it's just better for you, it would be easier and more smooth of a journey, I would say, to go through. But
Yes.
again, you can't avoid that. You can't
Yeah.
ignore that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well said.
Yeah. And for those who would like to connect with you online, how can they find you?
Sure. So my website is called www.awaanahealth.com. AWANAHELTH.com. I'm on Instagram, Shruti underscore, Sethi underscore, and I'm on Facebook, all the social media channels. So people in New York can obviously, I work in New York and I have my own practice where they can connect me. I mean, just give me a message on my website or on Instagram and I'll connect with them.
Yes, great. And I'm so glad we had that conversation today. And as we close, what would be the final thought for our listeners?
Uh, with regards to, I'm very passionate about spreading cancer, and this month is about breast cancer awareness. So I would say that each of us have an ability and capability of achieving great good amount of health. If you are someone who's going through cancer, there is always hope. You just need the right path and do take that responsibility of finding things for yourself, what is good, with before taking that conventional treatment. There are always options, and if you have taken a conventional treatment and you're facing side effects, there are always ways of dealing with it and living a cancer free life. Your body's healing mechanism is so powerful than medication, so always believe in yourself and in your body. That's what I would say.
Yes. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, hit the subscribe button and share it with others. Stay tuned.